This is the best way to plan your solo trip and is actually easier than you think. I call this method MVP, Minimal Valuable Planning. Before you choose a destination, let's choose a place to store all our information. My first pick is Apple Notes, and here's why I choose Apple Notes. For me are two things are important. The app must be fast, and most important part, its offline mode must be available. My second pick is Google Maps, and it's all you need in the beginning. And if you're not a Mac, I'm sure there are apps out there that have similar features like Apple Notes. Alright, now that we choose our preferred apps, let's go ahead and prepare some essential notes that I believe are incredibly important. Let's go ahead and open Apple Notes, and the first thing I like to do is create a folder. You maybe already have a destination in mind, so I like to give it funny names. So let's go for this one night in Bangkok, then create. Next I like to do is create 3 notes: expenses, learnings, and of course baking list. I will explain every note in a minute. Pro tip, you can create one more, I call it checklist, and then leaving the house. So here you can make some checklist: turn off air condition, turn off water. You get the idea. You list everything down here, and if you're ready for your trip, you just go this checklist down, because it's maybe if you have this same experience like me, if you just close the door and then in your mind, oh, did it turn off air condition, did I turn water, electricity and stuff like this. So you have a checklist like a pilot, you go through it and you make sure that you don't forget anything if you leave your house. Now it's the time to choose your solo friendly destination. Here what I mean: imagine you travel to a new place you've never been before, and you are introvert like me. You will be happy to meet friends easily, right? So how you find such a destination? There are 2 ways. Quick Google search can help, for example a solo friendly travel destination, or here are my top 3 solo friendly destination. Number 1 is Thailand, almost every city or island, and second Japan, Tokyo especially, and Greece islands. Almost every island is very good and very solo friendly destination. I've been to all of them and can highly recommend them. And by the way, if you can recommend some solo friendly destination, feel free to drop some comments. I'm always happy to explore new places. Now this is where it gets amazing and ideally fun as well. Alright, we prepared our Apple Notes to receive information, and we choose our solo friendly destination. For this example, I will continue with plan a trip to Bangkok. Alright, now open a calendar of your choice and block the time you want to travel. For example, let's go with this and call it Bangkok baby, and then you block your time here. If you full into Apple ecosystem like me, you can it directly from Apple Notes. Let me show how it works. Let's go ahead. I like it to do it in the packing list area. For example, let's assume you want to travel from 24 until 1st of May, for example. Now what you can do, you can highlight it, right click and create event, and you can call it baby 2, and then add to calendar, and then it's ideally you can see it will automatically create this event here. Pretty nice trick to know with Apple Notes. Now we go ahead and check some flights, but before we do it, here's what I learned. Since the technology is improving, we can use it for our advantage, or we can do it like old school and search by ourselves. I'll show you both ways how to do it. Alright, what I like to do is go to Gemini. You only need your Google account, you sign up, and then you can use this prompt. No worry, I will put everything in description. And most important, you have to do add and then choose Google Flights, and okay, then submit. And then he will choose some flights for us. It's pretty cool because I hate searching flights. You can see everything. He put our price, everything is pretty handy. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Now we can go to Google Flights and check it up as well. directly in the web page. Let's change the currency to USD, more easier to understand how much it actually is. Now I will go ahead and make some screenshots. For example, I really like non-stop flights. I will open this and check it up, and then I will collect this data to our Apple Notes, and then flight, and I will save it. Alright, this was the first way. The AI do the job for us. Alright, second way, you go to Google Flights directly, and here you have a couple choices. I give you some pro tips and tricks. You can leave only, for example, here your starting point. Let's assume you want to go back from Bangkok to Amsterdam or to your location, and then you click on this map here, and now you can save some dollars. For example, now you can see, oh my god, Chiang Mai only $47. I think I will book some flights. And then you can choose, let's go ahead with our example. We wanted to go to Europe, so Amsterdam is over there here. Yeah, now you can see we have some cheap flight here. If you click on here and then see, of course it's not in our range what we planned, but sometimes you check the flights before you want to go to the destination or before you choose your time period. So now you can get some good deals here. And yeah, now you can see view all flights. For example, this, okay, 21 hours and 20 minutes. I'm not sure if I would take this flight, but let's save it anyways to our notes. And here, pro tip, if you save it again, you can see it flight options. We choose it before, and if you don't see it here, if you appear here new note, you can search for here in this. I have a full video of how to use Apple Notes. I will link everything in the description. You can check it out after this video if you want. Okay, let's save this for example, and one stop 40 hours. This looks good as well for me. Let's save it as well. And once again, same, check Apple Notes. Alright, next tip I like to do, if you click here on this date, this column, and then you can see the price, how the price is during the weeks. Normally my experience is like the mid of the week is always a little bit cheaper, especially on these dates. For example, you see May here, $600. Check some deals here as well. If you plan your trip 2 or 3 months before, you can get some cool deals here. Alright, so we collected some data here, and here's some learnings the past years in my traveling. Don't fall in love with the first flights you find because it's cheap. That's why we collected it in our notes. And what I like to do is, like, I collect my ideal flights in Apple Notes, and then I come back after 2 or 3 hours or maybe 1 or 2 days and review it. Let's go ahead and I show you what I mean. So if you go here to Apple Notes, you can see already it's our inbox, what we collected here, our flights, and then we put it directly, drag and drop here, one night in Bangkok, and then we have some flights. Of course this one is in another direction from Bangkok to Amsterdam, but for the purpose of this video I probably would go with this flight, even it's like more expensive, but I really like only one way and don't have to change airplanes very often. It's for me very important just non-stop or maybe only one stop. It depends on your location, of course. Sometimes it's not possible. Put it in my notes and then come later to review it again. I have one more prompt for you for choosing hotels. It's same and Google Hotels, and you enter this prompt and fill your data. No worries, I'll put everything in the description. This is how I used my last trip to find a very good hotel in Berlin. Let's go ahead and make some tests with the Google Hotel. And the idea, you do the same what we did before with Google Flights, that you collect your data and put it in Apple Notes. For example, this is very good, this one. And you can even have some pictures already here. I mean, it's really handy to find it with AI, because it's not my favorite thing to watch in every booking site for the best deal. And for this example, you just go here and basically you have all of these options, and then they will find the best place, because Google, I have so far the best experience, to be honest, and I have only one place to find stuff, and it doesn't matter if it's like $5 or $6 more expensive. One more thing, let's assume you want to save this hotel for later. You can do it as well. I maybe forgot to mention it's in our flight area. You just go back to Apple Notes and you create new note, and then hotels, deals, you can call it how you like it, and then you just add link here. You can do the same for your Google Flights, what we did. I forgot to mention that you don't have to search it again, that you have directly the link in your notes. Alright, now the day where you choose your final destination, you found your ideal flights, hotels, and everything you need. Now is the best time to put our data in our expenses. I like to jot it down during my planning, but sometimes if it's getting busy, you can always adjust or write it later. You may be asking why during tracking. Here's why. If you do your first trip, believe me, you will want more trips, and then you will learn from this data, and then you'll make better decisions, and you're getting better in this beautiful craft of planning trips and to get best deals. So basically you just go here, create simple table view, and I will fill the data really quick, and it looks something like this. And what I like to do is always plan 10% more for unexpected expenses, like here €60 for baggage overweight. Sometimes this happens as well, but we covered in this 10%. So this is like for my last trip how much I spent. It's pretty good for 2 weeks to Berlin and back to Bangkok. Of course I have family there, so I don't have to pay hotel. Alright, to make the most of your experience abroad, it's important to have a plan. You can do it once again, write your days, for example 14 days or 7 days, and like day 1, day 2, day 3, what you want to do. Back in the day I used this approach as well, but I'm not a big fan of it because it feels like working through your to-do list, and this makes my trip not enjoyable. Alright, here's the way how I like to do it. I call this method MVP, Minimal Valuable Planning. Here how it works. You go to Google and type my maps, then you will land to this page. You can see I created already one. Then we go ahead and create a new map, and now we have some cool stuff here. We'll explain some basics, and then I'll share the map with you, of course. Okay, let's call this map Bangkok Baby again. You can add description, but we will skip it for this purpose. And then let's check what we got here. We have some layers here. Let's rename this layer, call it parks. Save. And now you can go ahead and let's assume you want to visit this park. Highly recommend. And then you can see here, add to map. You click it and bam, it's in your map. So in the parks area. Let's go ahead and add some more location here. Alright, now you can add more layers. I will explain in a minute what this means. If you click on it, you can see new layer, and then rename this layer. Let me call it like bars, for example. And then you can choose some bars or places you wanted to visit. For example, I recommend this one. No worry, I will make a map, and then if you really come to Bangkok, you can try this map out. By the way, I'm not a typical tourist. I will not include the normal tourist stuff. I will include 1 or 2 places I really like in each area, like park, cafes and stuff like that, and then you can try them out if you really someday come here. The cool part, you can add some labels here. You can do a lot of styling stuff here. What I like to do is, for example, change this cover here and this icon. Then now we have the cool bar icon. That's basically it. Pro tip, you can add your hotel, and then you can see which route you will go. And the good part, you can share this map with another friends or family if they are really plan to come to this city or the same trip you already traveled to. Then you have the collected data already, everything here, and then you can share it. Or maybe you come back and yeah, you have everything ready to go. Once again, I will put everything in the description. You can check it out. If you go back here after you plan your trip, I highly recommend plan not too much, because yeah, it's getting very messy sometimes. If you have too many activities, you will not have time to see them all, and what I mentioned earlier will feel like a to-do list. Okay, let's go back, and the map, it will appear in your Google Drive. You can see this map I shared already, and of course you want to use it on your phone or not on your PC, right? If you make the plan on your PC, you go ahead, you open Google Maps on your phone, and then scroll down and look for some icon. It's called Maps. If you click on it, you will see all the maps you created or someone shared with you, and if you click on it, it will open completely new as a layer, and you will see all stuff you planned. It's pretty cool. You don't have to write it down, and you will use Google Maps anyway, so why not directly save it as a map? And to be honest, it's more fun to plan the trip, what you want to do in this way, instead of writing in bullet points. And yeah, this you have visually, it's more appealing for me at least. If you still want to choose the to-do list approach, you can do it, but keep in mind, use the MVP method just to plan 1 to 2 activities per day, and rest make it spontaneous as possible, because sometimes we put 5 or 6 stuff on one day and it's not achievable. Believe me, I tried it as well. So it's better to have 1 or 2 activities as the main plan, and then everything else spontaneous. Maybe you meet some new people and then your plan change. Alright, we have still 2 empty notes. Let's take care of them right now. For the learning note, I really like to write down some thoughts, especially if I'm in an airplane. I always some thoughts, or I use it like journaling. For example, this was for my last learning trip. It's nice to have Spotify on Mac. If I editing videos, it's nice to have some background music. And yeah, for entry fees I have to pay, and this is, I've always forgot this one, that you can take empty bottle in the airport, you can always refill it. Another, what we didn't fill out, is packing list. It's because this one is very special for every person. It depends on your location you travel in and your personal preference. But I like to use here MVP as well to avoid the baggage overweight. Of course, last time didn't work out, but for next time I know what to do. Like, keep it simple, just write everything down what you need and keep it simple as possible. Don't pack too much stuff. And every information that related to this trip you can store it in the app. Just put everything there, and then later you can review it. This is pretty handy. This is offline mode available. Sometimes you need something and you don't have internet, so Apple Notes got you covered, because yeah, it syncs very fast and everything is on your phone. That's pretty cool. And the learnings, for example, journaling in the airplane, if you fly 12 hours, it's pretty cool. Just jot down some ideas. Let's summarize what we just did. We choose our app, Apple Notes, then we choose some flights and hotels using Gemini AI, and then we created a map for what we want to see in our destination. Then we put everything in Apple Notes, and we learned the MVP method, minimal valuable planning, and I got some tips and tricks along the way. And of course, if you really plan to come to Bangkok, I highly recommend check his video up. He did a really great job what to do first if you arrived at the Bangkok airport. Thank you so much for your time. And if you got some value from this video, make sure to like and subscribe so I can make more videos like this. And of course, if you have any question, feel free to put it in the comments below. I will check them out and of course answer as soon as possible. Alright, see you in the next one.